Good morning, dear student. Let us start the class. Today we are going to do real life examples of decimal. Okay, so before starting the class, before going to the main topic, let us recall what we have learned in this chapter. In this chapter, we have learned what is a decimal. So what is a decimal, children? Any number of the form like this 1.3 is known as a decimal number. Okay, now this 1 represents the integral or whole, the dot represents the decimal point, and after the dot or after the decimal point, whatever the number is, it is known as a decimal part. Okay, now from the chapter fraction 1, fraction 2 and decimals, we have learned one thing, that fraction and decimal are related to each other. Okay, how it is related? If I take a rectangle, a square, okay, a square, and I divide the square into 10 equal parts. Okay, sorry, this is a rectangle. I have divided the rectangle, this figure, into 10 equal parts. Okay, out of this, 2 parts are shaded. Okay, how many parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 parts. That means this figure has been divided into 10 equal parts, and out of these 2 parts are shaded. I have marked it. Now how to represent this as a fraction for the shaded part? Now for the shaded part, it becomes 2 by 10. Okay, this is how we used to represent in fraction. Or for the unshaded part, it becomes 8 by 10. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts are unshaded. And these 2 parts are shaded out of total 10 equal parts. This is the way of representing in fraction. Now, if I tell you that from this figure, you express the number for the shaded part in terms of decimal, not in fraction, then how will you do that? First, you have to consider in fraction, and then you can convert into decimal. How you can do that? This 2 you can divide by 10. Okay, I'll put a decimal point here because 2 is smaller. Then I'll get a 0. 10 into 2, 20. It is exactly divisible. So 2 by 10 becomes 0.2. Similarly, if I divide this number, then what I'll get? I'll get 0.8. That means for this shaded and unshaded part from this given figure, if I have to express in decimal, it will become 0.2 and 0.8. In this way, we can convert a fraction to decimal, okay, from any given real life object. Alright, so let us see now where we use real life examples of decimal. Let us start the class. Now children, for real life where we use in decimal in our real life, I have taken the example 6. It is page number 36 of your textbook. Let me read out the question. The amount of money which Sneha and her friends are given in the table. There is a table here. Okay, so Sneha, Anjali, Rohan and Jay are the name of 4 persons and they have some amount with them. That means they have some money with them. I'll take the first question. Okay, I'll take the first one. Sneha has got how much rupees? Rupees 432.50. Now here money is here, which we use in our day-to-day life, and here it is the decimal point. Now we know money has been categorized into 2 types, that is rupees and paise. Rupees and paise. So this, the point, the number before the decimal point is known as rupees, and after the decimal point, the decimal part represents the paise. Okay, now how to write this in words? Okay, because this is a decimal number, this is money. How to write in words? So how will you write in words? We know the number before the point is known as rupees, and after the point it is known as paise. it is represented by the money symbol, that is the rupee symbol. Okay, so how to write in words? Okay, so what I will write first, I will write the rupees here. 400 and 32 rupees and what is given after the point? It is given as 50, that is 50 paise, which is a smaller unit that is used to represent money, and 50 paise. Okay, so money is one application that we use in our life, and it has got a decimal point there. That means in here we have to separate between rupees and paise here. Only the rupee symbol is given here, but we know this is rupees and this is paise. So how do we write in words? We write as 432 rupees and 50 paise. Okay, so this is one example where we use decimal. Let us take another example. Example 7. In example 7, the weights of some children are given here. Okay, Rahul, Anil, Anjali and Soham. You have to convert those weights in kilogram. It is given in gram here. I'll take the first example here. Okay, so Rahul is a name of a person. Okay, and his weight is 23456 grams. It is given in grams. We have to convert into kg, that means kilogram. Okay, kg is short for kilogram. So to convert gram into kilogram, we must know the value. Okay, so we know 1 kg equals to 1000 gram. We know 1 kg is equals to 1000 grams. Now when we have to convert grams into kilograms, we have to divide this number by 1000. What we have to do? We have to divide this number by 1000. So what I have here? I have 23456 gram. I'll divide the number by 1000 so that we can express it as kg in terms of kilogram. Okay. Now we know that there is a very simple method of converting a fraction where the denominator has got zeros and 1. There is a very easy method. What method is that? We just have to count how many zeros are there. How many zeros are there? 1, 2 and 3. Now start counting from the right hand side. How many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3. So the answer will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kg. Okay. So in this way, we can express a number of weight. We can divide a gram into kilogram in this way. Now children, if you think this is confusing for you, you can divide the number also. One by one you can divide the numbers. But this is a very easy method. Suppose you have to divide this number by 100. Suppose it is not for weight or kilogram or gram is not there. Okay, so you have to divide this number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 100. Now how many zeros are there? There are 2 zeros. Okay, let's start counting from the right. How many? 1, 2. Then put the decimal point in front of the 2 number. So the answer will be 234.56. It is 23.456. It is 234.56. Can you see the difference? The point is here in front of 3 numbers and here it is in front of 2 numbers. Why is it that so? Because here you are dividing by 1000 and here you are dividing by 100. The difference lies in there. Or otherwise you can take the alternate method. Okay, you can proceed in dividing the number. But it will be a little long process. But still if you are comfortable with that, you can proceed in that way. Alright. In example 8 is given here. A table is given here. Fractions and decimal are given here. Okay, the fraction is being converted into decimal. Now how do you read and write the fraction in words? Okay, now this 7 by 10 I have taken. If you divide 7 by 10, you will get 0.7. Now children, again if you have to divide here, how many zeros are there? 1 zeros. So only you count one number and the dot will come in front of one number. Okay, like you have divided by 1000 or 100. Similarly, if you divide by 10, you will get in this way. Now after converting this fraction in decimal, how do you write it or how do we read it? Okay, so this one we read as 7 tenths. Okay, and how do you read this? It is 0.7. Okay, in fraction we read as 7 tenths. 7 is the numerator, it will come first. 10 is the denominator, it will go second. The next is 0.7. How do we read this? We read this togetherly but separated by the words 0.7. That is the difference of writing and reading a fraction and a decimal number. If I take a mixed fraction, how do you read a mixed fraction? Suppose I have 3 5 by 10. Okay, then how will you write in words? Okay, so how will you write? You will write as 3. You will write as 3 and 5 tenths. Okay, if you write in this form 3 and 5 tenths, we will understand that 3 is a whole number and 5 and tenths are a proper fraction, or it is a fraction. Now this 3 5 by 10 you can convert into fraction, that is 3.5 it will become. Then how will you write in decimal? You will write as 3.5. You write in decimal as 3.5. Okay children? Example 9 is given here. Ajay and Vijay represented the colored part of the figure given as follows. So it is a circle here. It is divided into 10 equal parts. How? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 equal parts, and out of that 3 parts are shaded here. Now Ajay has written in fraction as 3 by 10 and Vijay has given as 0.03. Okay, so Ajay and Vijay are the name of two persons and they have represented the shaded part for the circle in this way. Ajay in the form of fraction, Vijay in the form of decimal. Now the question is that whose representation is correct? Okay, now Ajay has given 3 by 10. That means 3 parts are shaded out of 10. This is correct. Now if you convert this 3 by 10 into decimal, you will get as 0.3. Now if you convert this 3 by 10 into this fraction into decimal, you will get 0.3. How? If you divide the numbers, 30 is a big, 3 is a smaller number, then you put a decimal point, you will get 0. 10 into 3, 30. It is exactly divisible. Now, see the difference between here. Vijay has given as 0.03, but actually it is 0.3. Now, whose representation is correct? We can say that Ajay's representation is correct. If Vijay has written as 0.3, then both the representation are correct here. But Vijay has written in the form of 0.03, that means this is incorrect. Okay, Ajay's representation is correct. Now children, how to identify from given figures like that? Okay, for that I have taken two questions from example 10. Now in the example 10, what is given here? Two rectangular bars. First one, example 10a. Two rectangular bars are taken here. Both are divided into 10 equal parts. The first part, the whole 10 parts are shaded. And in the second part, out of 10, 3 parts are shaded. Now how to represent this in decimal? Now we know 10 out of 10 are shaded. First, it is divided into 10 equal parts and 10 parts are shaded. Then you plus it because you have to combine this and you have to find one value. Okay, and out of this, how many parts are shaded? 3 parts are shaded out of 10. Now if you know, if you have the same number, numerator and denominator, it becomes a whole. That means 1. Okay, and if you divide 3 by 10, you will get is 0.3. So the answer will be 1.3. You add this number. Okay. How will you add this number? Now this is a whole here. This is a whole. Okay. Plus 0.3. Okay. So in decimal, when you add, you have to add the whole, and when you have to add the decimal part, you have to put in one line. Okay. You cannot combine them. Now here, this is a whole, it doesn't have a decimal part. So you have to add this with 0 because 0 is a whole here. And what we have got here is 0.3. But this number doesn't have a decimal part. So it will remain like that. 3 will come down, point will come down, and 1.3. The answer for this is 1.3. Okay. The second one I have taken here is, this is a rectangular bar. This is divided into 10 equal parts, and this one is being divided into 100 equal parts. These 10 equal parts are shaded just like this. So it will become 10 by 10 because out of 10 parts only are shaded. So what I will get here? 1. This is 100 parts, and out of 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. 43 parts are shaded. So you will divide this number by 100 because this figure is being divided into 100 equal parts. So how many zeros it is? 2 zeros. If you count from right, you will get 0.43. Now add this number, 1 plus 0.43. Similar. So here I will add 1 and 0.43. Now 1 is a whole, 0 is a whole. Okay. So 1 will come down, point will come down, and 43. Because you have to add the decimal part differently and the whole differently. You cannot combine them. Okay. So what I will get here? 1.43. That means here 1.3 and 1.43 are the numbers I have expressed for the shaded part of the given figure in decimal system. First I have converted into fraction, then I have divided, and then I have combined them. After combining, I have expressed a number as decimal number. So children, based on the topic that we have discussed today, I have taken 2 questions here. Okay, the first question is, Jadine has rupees 832.60. Express the amount in words. You have to write in words. Okay children, and don't forget to write rupees and paise also. It is 832.60. The next question is, Arun and Maya represent the colored part of a given figure. It is a figure here, and Arun has written 4 by 10, Maya has written 0.04. Who is correct here in the representation of the number? Okay, these questions I will be giving in the Google Classroom. Alright, so the keywords which is used in this chapter are integral or whole. Okay, if I take this example, this is a whole, this is a decimal point, and after the point, the number represents the decimal part. Okay, so children, this is the class for today. If you have any doubt, you can drop a message in my WhatsApp number. With this, I conclude my video. Thank you and have a nice day.